This is an event and a fight, part of a 3-fight card that you will see on Showtime Championship Boxing coming your way this Saturday, February 9th. From the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, for some of you formerly known as the StubHub Center. And this has been an area and a park for us that has brought some magical fights in Showtime Championship Boxing. In fact, it'll be our first time here in almost 4 years, but every time we come here, it is a magical night of fantastic fights. And we have a 3-fight card that will come your way on Showtime Championship Boxing, 7 p.m. Pacific time, that is 10 p.m. Eastern. The event is promoted by TGB Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, and Samson Boxing. Preceding the telecast, we also want to remind you that Showtime Championship Boxing will have Championship Boxing Countdown. Now, we'll be live streaming the undercard action. We'll also bring you some pre-fight analysis on the network social media platforms from our Hall of Famer, Steve Farhood. You can see those on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and that will come your way at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 p.m. Pacific. In fact, we are streaming 2 fights. One of them is the return of the Hammer. Former world title challenger Erickson Lubin will be taking on a former world champion in Ishe Smith. It is a 10-round super welterweight matchup. You don't want to miss that. We will be live streaming that fight as well as a 10-round super lightweight bout between Juan Peraltez and Eddie Ramirez. So you don't want to miss those as well. And then we get to the television portion of the event. 3 fights, and we start the telecast off 10-round lightweight bout between the Bumblebee and the Lion. Javier Fortuna, former world champion, taking on former world title challenger Sharif Bogarade. The co-feature, Mario Barrios, probably one of the most exciting young up-and-comers in the 140-pound division. He's got height, he's got speed, he's got power. And he will be taking on Richard Zamora. And Zamora will be making his U.S. debut, looking to really make a name for himself. That's going to be the co-feature, so one you don't want to miss. Then we come to the main event. The WBA Super Featherweight World title is on the line. And you got a young man who goes by the name of Tank.
Hey!
Gervonta Tank Davis. He's been called a lot of things. Exciting, powerful. His 95% knockout percentage, the best at 130 pounds. Unbeaten. They've called him little baby Mike Tyson, because when he gets in there, he is certainly exciting. And taking on Hugo Ruiz. Now, originally it was supposed to be Abner Mares, but unfortunately Abner Mares suffered a detached retina in sparring last week, had to have immediate surgery. We certainly wish the best for Abner as he rehabs from that. But now he's taking on Hugo Ruiz, former world champion, who is, I like to call him a first-round knockout artist. 18 first-round knockouts. That's going to be our main event. Come to the stage here, talk a little bit about the evening, talk about what you should expect, is the Senior Vice President of Sports Communications for Showtime, Mr. Chris de Blasio.
I'd just like to say on behalf of our President of Sports and Event Programming at Showtime, Stephen Espinoza, couldn't be here this week. He's back in New York, stuck on some business, but wanted to acknowledge a few things and appreciate your time. We're so proud, all of us at Showtime, to be back in Southern California. So many great fights take place in the Southland here. Most recently, we were here for the December 1st Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury heavyweight bout. A terrific fight that helped to further revive and enhance the heavyweight division in America. It was a thrilling night. More specifically, down in Carson at this tennis stadium, Dignity Health Sports Park, the new name. We've seen some incredible barn burners, great fight after great fight, all the way back to Vasquez Marquez 3, a fight of the year. Tim Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov, another fight of the year. More recently, Francisco Vargas, Orlando Salido, another fight of the year. Lucas Matisse, John Molina, a fight no one expected to be a great fight on paper, turned out to be a war. Even El Perro Angulo versus Arislan Di Lara, another fight weren't necessarily expecting to be a light off the charts, and it certainly was. Tom Brown, a promoter from TGB Promotions, he puts it best when he says that something seems to happen to fighters when they get into that tunnel before they walk out into this tennis stadium. It's like warriors, like gladiators headed to the Coliseum. So I promised Tom I dropped that line where I won't get in trouble with him. But it's true. We expect nothing less on Saturday night. This venue has become part of boxing lore. We know that great fights go down there, and as I said, that's what we expect on Saturday. We're going to present 5 fights, as Brian Custer referenced. I won't go into too many details, but 2 fights on our social media channels. We're happy to see Erickson Lubin and Ishe Smith. That's an important fight at 154 pounds. And then, of course, 3 bouts on Showtime Championship Boxing. We're highlighted by Tank Davis, one of the brightest young stars in boxing. He's America's youngest world champion, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. But grateful to Hugo Ruiz, tough, confident, eager to get a world title shot, to redeem after the missed opportunity you had back in January when your opponent couldn't make weight and you lost the world title opportunity there. So we're thrilled that you took the fight and we're able to keep this card intact. I think it's a great one. We expect, like I said, fireworks on Saturday. We can't wait. We just want to thank everyone from Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions, and everybody at the venue for helping us stage what we expect to be another great night. Brian?
Thank you, Chris. Once again, certainly give a shout out to our promoters for this great event coming away on Saturday. Tom Brown, who's in the back of the room. Tom, certainly want to acknowledge him. Another one of our promoters, Mayweather Promotions.
Heck yeah! That's what I'm talking about, boxes.
Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
The past, the future, the present of sports. And with the CEO, Mayweather Promotions, a man who needs no introduction. Without further ado, here he is. Very clean. Very clean. Leonard Ellery.
Thank you, Brian. On behalf of Mayweather Promotions, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out today for this wonderful press conference. We have a great, great event this Saturday night. From top to bottom, we have great fights. The main event, the co-main event, the first bout leading into the broadcast, an outstanding 2 fight that will be shown on the Showtime Facebook Live, and a terrific undercard with also we have 9 Mayweather Promotions fighters who will be featured. So we have a great night of boxing. So I would like to help you join me in bringing up a special guest who's my partner, who everyone knows him, future Hall of Famer, none other than the president of Mayweather Promotions, Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, it's going down.
It's great to be on this platform with so many young talented fighters. I can remember 23 years ago when I was in that same position. And when you're in this position, you must take advantage of it because opportunities like this comes once in a lifetime. It's not in it, you can't leave it in the hands of your team, can't leave it in the hands of a trainer. you must go out there and give it your all when you fight. No matter how you look when you go out there and perform, whether you beat a guy by outboxing a guy, you beat a guy by counter-punching, you beat a guy by standing toe-to-toe. The ultimate goal is to become a winner. Not just in the ring, but on the outside as well. And that's what we do over at Mayweather Promotions. And then there's a couple different subjects I want to touch on just in a boxing game period. Whereas with me, I want the best for fighters. And if any fighter on this platform can surpass me or break all my records, it's more power to them. I want to see that happen. I don't want to be long gone and a fighter break no record. I want to be here to see these fighters surpass me. I want to see these fighters become great. I want to see these fighters become pay-per-view stars, because that's what it's about. And records are made to be broken. You know, I had a game plan, and the game plan was to take each fight as it came. It wasn't to rush. And when these fighters go out there and they perform, whether you lose or you win, remember, it's all up to you. It's not up to the trainer, it's up to you. For you to go out there and do what you do best. And that's to go out there, perform, and be at your best. I remember this young man coming to my gym, working hard, believing in himself. And sometimes we do 2 a days, because if we don't feel like we got the job done right, the first time we'll come back to shake out the kinks. We strive every day to be perfectionists. Nobody is perfect, but we strive every day to be the best that we can possibly be. This kid works extremely hard, but you can never take anything for granted. I think this fighter is more dangerous than Abner Morris. That's just my honest opinion. But I also think that Abner Morris is a hell of a fighter. And it's all about taking chances and taking risks. One thing we can't do is down tank. Because all he has done was beat the fighters that was put in front of him. Same thing that I've done. So we're not here to criticize him. I'm here to uplift him and tell him that I want to see him do good. But I don't just want to see him do good. I want to see every fighter on this pedestal do good. And I'm pretty sure, because Ruiz is a hell of a fighter. He's a tough competitor, former world champion, so he's not a pushover. But Tank, like I said before, every time he has came to me, when I say, who you want to fight, he said, it doesn't matter. So he don't pick and choose. So if y'all want to criticize anybody, criticize me, criticize Leonard Ellaby, or criticize whoever, but don't criticize the fighters. The fighter's job is to go out there and fight and be the best that they can possibly be. And I'll tell Tank this. For years, Tank, they criticized me from the beginning. First, they said the fighters, I was a small man. Then when I was a knockout artist, they said Mayweather's not fighting against nobody. And then when I became an older fighter, and my body broke down, I was going the distance, they said, well, Mayweather got the knockout power. What you keep doing is going out there and winning. You fight for you and your family and your children. That's what's important. Me, myself, if I don't throw another punch another day in my life, I make smart investments. And that's the ultimate goal for us to help you do. Make smart investments on the outside. Because soon, I've been at the top for 23 years. When I was at the top in the beginning, there was none of these writers. Total different writers. They're going to write good about you, they're going to write bad about you. But the ultimate goal is as long as they write about you. That's the ultimate goal. Ruiz, you're a hell of a fighter, tough competitor. Hell of a fighter. I've seen you fight. And good knockout power too. 18 fights in the first round. But we can't knock you because you only had 20 fights. Hell of a matchup, and that's what we want to see. Leonard, I want to say thank you because a lot of times I'm traveling the world, still making appearances, still making hundreds of millions of dollars while being retired. But it's you every day, either me or you that they're going to criticize. But let's continue to help these fighters grow. We're not the type of company whereas like other promoters, whereas if a fighter is fighting with you and then a fighter leave and go to a whole other company, then we talk bad about the fighter. We want to continue to put on good fights, put on exciting fights, and see these fighters push their ability as far as they can possibly push their ability. This young kid right here, in the back right here, Truck is amazing. Another fighter from Baltimore, and I'm not pretty sure, but I believe deep in my heart he will be world champion too someday. To this team over here to my left, which is Tank Team. Calvin, you've done an amazing job with the kid. You know, only thing I want to do is continue to help, if it's inside the gym or in the background. So I want to continue to help because the ultimate goal is to make this kid a household name and to make him a pay-per-view star. And to my team and to my staff, to my Mayweather Promotions team, to my staff, I just want to say thank you guys for working hard, day in and day out. Steven Espinoza, Showtime, Al Heyman, and the Watson family, Courtney, Sam, you guys have worked hard, you know, behind the scenes for years and years, and you guys don't get the credit that you're due. I just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up to the press conference today. And it's all about excitement, and it's all about putting on great shows and putting on great fights. Saturday will be another blockbuster, and I'll be there pushing the fighters as far as I can possibly push them. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to everyone that's behind me. You guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm going to continue to stay in the background and push these guys as far as I can possibly push them. Thank you.
Thank you, Floyd. Appreciate that. Let's hear for the fighters. First fight, you'll see on the broadcast. The Lion, Sharif Golden. Come to the podium. Have a few words, please.
Hello, everybody. I would like to first say all praise to God, the most great and most high. Thanks, guys, for coming today here, covering us, your media. I would like to thank my team. You've done a great job. Territory, Jimmy, Juwan Blair, William Griffin. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. And on top of that, Mayweather Promotion. Thanks, guys, for the push that you guys have been showing us all throughout these years. You guys have been pushing all these young fighters and giving them opportunity to shine and showcase their talent. Thank you so much for that. And all the promoters that came together and put this show together. On top of that, thank you to Showtime. We have a great fight coming up, shots on this Saturday on February 9th. I'm fighting a gentleman, Abia Fortuna, former champion. He's a great fighter, tough guy. I expect him to bring a lot of fireworks, and I'm prepared for that. We have a good game plan, and Saturday night, you guys don't miss out. It's gonna be the return of the Lion. Thanks, guys. God bless you all and your loved ones. Thank you so much.
Sharif is on a 10-fight unbeaten streak. You heard him allude to his opponent. He's a former world champion. Goes by the moniker the Bumblebee. Here's Javier Fortuna. Our Felix De Jesus from Showtime will be doing the translation.
Muy buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Primeramente doy gracias a Dios por permitirme participar en esta cartelera
Thank God for participating in this beautiful event that we're having.
y gracias a la promotora, a los bañadores, a todos los que están relacionados con la cartelera.
And to the promoter, the manager, and everybody involved in the event.
Me siento muy orgulloso de participar en esta cartelera
I'm very honored to participate in this event.
y contento y daré lo mejor de mí,
I will give the best of me.
ya que voy con un boxeador que es bueno, tiene buen mérito,
I'm going against a good boxer who has good merits.
pero no importa los obstáculos que hay entre el medio.
It doesn't matter the obstacles that we have.
Yo lo lograré y saliré por la puerta grande.
I'm going to come up to the open, big door.
Muchas gracias a todos por tenerme presente y muchas bendiciones.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody involved.
Now to the co-feature. He comes to the podium. He's a man who's won 5 straight, hasn't tasted defeat in a couple of years. Here's Richard Zamora. I feel it's the Haitians for doing a great lesson.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Me siento muy contento y quiero darle las gracias a Dios por estar aquí en este momento.
I'm very happy and I thank God for being in this moment.
Y gracias a la empresa por darme la oportunidad de estar aquí.
Thanks to the event coordinators and everybody involved for me being here today.
Esta es la oportunidad que estaba buscando.
This is the opportunity that I've been looking for.
No pienso dejarla ir y estoy listo para pelear.
I am ready to fight and I'm not going to let this opportunity pass by.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Considered one of the up-and-comer, especially at 140 pounds, Mario Barrios.
Everybody good? I want to thank Showtime, Mayweather Promotions, TGB Promotions. This is a huge opportunity. I'm very excited for it. Just looking, to go out there Saturday night, put on a great fight, for all the boxing fans. I mean, there's not much to say, I mean, I'm ready and I'm excited. I'm going to take, full advantage of this opportunity. Thank you.
Now we come to the main event that you'll see on Showtime Championship Boxing Saturday night. Comes to the podium, one of the promoters of this great event. He's the head of Samson Boxing. One thing you know about him, he has fighters who come to fight. Here is Samson Lukowitz.
Good afternoon to everyone. And really it's an honor for me to be involved in this great show, especially with Tom Brown from TGB and Mayweather. Probably many people say that Mayweather, he make this happen because the money. I say no, it's not about money. I know Mayweather, I know the history. And if you remember the 24/7, who was the start of the 24/7? Mayweather. All the promoters, including myself, we cannot even come closer to Mayweather promotion. And I want to congratulate not only Mayweather, who is behind Mayweather promotion. The 24/7 is true. I never forgot the first time I saw it in 24/7. Back to this show, I guarantee you 2 great fights. Actually, it's 3 great fights. I don't know which one it would be the best. If Fortuna or it be Hugo Ruiz. Hugo Ruiz, he was training for the southpaw. And 3 weeks ago, he fought the right-handed. He was a sparring partner, actually. Now, after 3 months and 3 weeks training for the southpaw, we have a fight. Trust me, it's a fight. Nothing against Maris, but I believe Davis has his hands full with El Cuatito Ruiz, the mother, the father, the brothers, everyone is a fighter. And he's a real Mexican. Viva Mexico. Thank you. God bless you.
Now here is the former world champion, Hugo Ruiz.
Buenas tardes, tengan todos ustedes.
Good afternoon to everybody.
Me siento muy agradecido con Dios por esta gran oportunidad.
I'm very happy with God especially for this great opportunity.
Así como también con mi promotor de toda la vida, Samson Leopold.
Also very happy with my promoters with the fight, Samson Leopold. TVG also.
Mayweather Promotion.
Mayweather Promotions also.
Mi manager Fernando Domínguez, mi equipo de trabajo conformado por mis hermanos y mi padre.
My manager Fernando Domingos and also my training team, which is my father and my brothers.
Estoy muy contento por esta gran oportunidad que se me presentó.
I'm very happy with this great opportunity that I've had.
Me encuentro muy emocionado. Vengo a dejarlo todo arriba del ring.
I'm going to leave everything on top of that ring. I'm very emotional about this great opportunity that has been given to me.
Tengo mucha fe en Dios y mucha seguridad.
I have a lot of faith in God and a lot of security.
También quiero agradecerle a Davis por aceptar pelear conmigo.
I also want to thank Gervonta Davis for wanting to fight me.
Y traigo toda la seguridad de que este sábado habrá nuevo campeón mundial.
And I have all the security and the assurance that there's going to be a world champion come Saturday night, a new world champion.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you.
And now, bring up the champ, unbeaten, only gone the distance once in 20 fights. Here's Leonard Elder.
Nice try, man. This young fighter, his reach goes beyond just the boxing ring. I'm really impressed. I'm from the DC area, so I know firsthand the impact that this young gentleman has on the youth, just not in the DMV area, but the youth all around the world. When it comes to excitement, when it comes to explosiveness, when it comes to knockout power. This is something new that the fans across the world are getting a chance to witness. And at the young age of 24, most of the fans out there have grown to know Tank for his punching power. But I'm here to tell you, Tank is also a very, very skilled boxer. And I think this is one of the things that he'll be able to showcase moving forward in a number of his big fights in the near future. And come Saturday night, we know that he has a tough challenge in front of him, because anytime you have a last-minute replacement who's a former world champion, who's an excellent fighter, but styles make fights. And when it comes to Hugo Ruiz style, he's a very aggressive fighter, and it makes nothing but a great fight. And when it comes to Gervonta Davis, he has a full arsenal. I mean, he can do it all. In my opinion, not only is he the most exciting fighter in the entire sport, he's also the biggest puncher in the sport. And you heard me, he's also the biggest puncher in the sport. But it takes more than just having knockout power. And again, on Saturday night, I think you will see an array of his skill set. He'll come out and he'll be able to showcase everything that he's been working on. So without further ado, I would like to bring up Mayweather Promotions' own, none other than the WBA Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Gervonta "Tank" Davis.
First of all, I want to, thank God, for this opportunity. I want to thank Showtime,
Neuro Promotion, Al Heyman, my team. I'm excited to be back in the sport, fighting. I've been out for some time now. Cat been great, being with my brothers. We have Lorenzo Truck Simpson fighting on the card. Hopefully we can get my other brothers, fighting on the card in the future. I'm ready, man. I'm excited. We planned on fighting Abner, but he had an injury, so hopefully we can get him down the line and everything okay with him. Hugo, I believe that he's a great opponent. He's gonna come to fight Saturday night. He actually just fought, so he showed me a shape, and he also told me, the media that he gonna knock me out. So hopefully we get an action-packed fight. That's what I wish to get back to the fans since they've been a league change in the opponents. But I'm ready, man. I feel like I'm the one that can be, that next pay-per-view star. I'm working towards it. Again, I'm just a little kid, something and all that. So Saturday night, I hope y'all ready. Don't get no popcorn. It's gonna be an action-packed fight. So I see y'all Saturday night. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, Champ. Gentlemen, there's some microphones under your chairs. If you guys can pick up those microphones, we're going to ask you some questions about your fight. Let's start with the first fight that you will see. Comes your way on Showtime Championship Boxing. Javier Fortuna, Sharif Bogarel. Javier, let me start with you. You had an unusual 2018. Fought Robert Easter Jr., didn't make weight, lost a split decision. You move up to 140, you fight Adrian Granados. You end up falling out of the ring in that fight, get a no contest. Can you guarantee the fans they're going to see the best Javier Fortuna Saturday night?
Claro que sí, vendrá nueva reparación en mí, cambio de entrenador y físico,
Of course, we have a new team now, a new trainer. They're going to see the best of Javier Fortuna on Saturday night.
Sharif, you put together a 10-fight unbeaten streak since your first loss, which was really 6 years ago. Is this the toughest test of your career since you fought Abril?
Thank you for the question. It's going to be a tough test in my life. Every day there's a lot of different difficulties in my life. This is going to be just another fight. I'm prepared for it. I have a great team behind me. I have a great teacher in their tolerance. Hey, come Saturday night, the life becomes. The life becomes for what belongs to him.
What does a win do for your career?
Well, Javier is a big name compared to the fighters that I've been fighting. Richard Brew is a former world champion, tough guy too. Getting a win from Javier Fortuna will put me out there on top two, and I'll be prepared for the next challenge after that.
Javier, he says a win over you is a signature win on his career. What does the victory do for you Saturday?
Yes, I would definitely, a victory against Sharif will be very important in my career and the stepping stone where I want to get this year. It's going to be a difficult fight against Sharif, but he's ready. It's going to be a tough fight, but it's going to be a tough fight for him too.
Now let's get to the co-feature. Mario Barrios, Richard Zamora. Richard, you won 5 straight. What does a victory Saturday, your U.S. debut against an unbeaten fighter like Mario Barrios do for you?
Es un paso muy importante en mi carrera, salir victorioso de esta pelea, ya que estaré haciendo mi debut en los Estados Unidos.
It will be definitely a big step, especially doing my U.S. debut here in the United States. So it's a big step to beat Mario.
Mario, I read that you said, I know that you've been matched, brought along carefully, but you said you want all the smoke at 140. Tell the people, what does that mean?
That means I'm ready, for any one of the champions. I mean, I'm not looking past Zamora whatsoever. It's in my head, for him taking this fight. It's a huge opportunity for him. But I mean, come Saturday night, I know all the work I put in during camp is gonna pay off. And I mean, there's some big things on the horizon. But again, I'm not looking past Zamora. A very tough fighter in front of me. I know he's coming with everything on Saturday, but so am I.
Richard, what should we expect Saturday night?
Una gran pelea, vengo preparado y listo para una guerra.
I come very well prepared, and I'm waiting for a war. I'm expecting a war, and I'm ready for a war.
Lastly, Mario, you stopped your last 6 opponents. He says he's ready for war.
You better be. I mean, it's gonna be a great night. So, like I said, I'm ready. I mean, sounds good to me.
Now we get to the main event. Gervonta Davis, 20 fights, 19 knockouts. Hugo Ruiz, 18 first-round knockouts. Gervonta, I just heard you say it, and I read it. You said fighting Hugo, you think will probably be a better fight because you said he's stronger, more aggressive opponent than Abner Mars. Tell us why. Why do you believe it?
His record speaks for itself. I believe 38 wins, 33 knockouts. So I watched him a little bit on and he got some pop. Yeah.
Hugo, Tank really has had about 3 rounds of activity in the last 18 months. Because you have fought recently, do you feel like that's an advantage for you and a disadvantage for him?
Bueno, yo me siento en ritmo para esta pelea. Davis es un gran campeón. Creo que esto va a ser un gran combate. He estado muy activo, entonces eso creo que me va a favorecer mucho.
I'm in rhythm. I've been very active since my last fight, which was just a couple of weeks ago. Davis is a tremendous fighter, tremendous champion. But I'll be ready on Saturday night.
Tank, any concern about ring rust?
No, I don't think ring rust. I've been working with a lot of good fighters in the gym. I feel I'm excited to be back, so I'm more excited, to be back and, give them a great fight Saturday night. So I don't think that I have.
Hugo, you're fighting at 130 first time. Do you believe the power will also transfer at this weight?
Solo puedo decir que en las 130 libras me siento más fuerte que nunca y eso lo voy a demostrar este sábado.
All I can say is that at 130 I feel more power than ever, and I will demonstrate it on Saturday night.
Tank, sounds like he says he wants that smoke at 130. He's also been quoted saying he will knock you out Saturday. Not too many guys who say they want to fight you, and not too many opponents who say they're actually going to knock you out. What should we expect Saturday?
For him to say he's going to knock me out, I feel as though that will be an action-packed fight. I'm glad that he has that mentality, because we owe it to the fans. I like changing an opponent, so I'm praying that he come ready to fight Saturday night, so we get the fans a great show.
Hugo, we'll end this with you. Your last question. Why did you want this challenge?
Bueno, este reto es muy grande para mí. Es la oportunidad de mi vida, la oportunidad de toda mi carrera. Todos los 12 años que he trabajado en el boxeo, lo he hecho para esta gran oportunidad y no pienso desperdiciarla.
This is a big challenge for me. My 12 years in boxing is the great opportunity I've been waiting for, and I don't plan on losing out on it.
Tank, how does going into a fight like this, when you've been preparing for Abner, then boom, at the last minute, it's someone totally new, and obviously it's someone who's very hungry. How does that affect your game plan and what you're trying to do Saturday night?
I really don't affect me. You know, I've been coming through the amateur. You know, we always fought by like, say 4 or 5 times a week. So we always had different opponents. Also, I had been sparring someone that's taller than me in training camp. You know, so I don't play no major role. You know, I'm ready. I think a fighter should be ready and be able to adapt to whatever he having right in front of him. So I'm aware of what's going on. I'm ready. You know, hopefully he's ready. And Sunday night we're gonna action-packed fight.
And lastly, you said this is going to be the first of many big fights for you this year. How active will you be, champ, this year?
I'll be very active. We had 3 fights scheduled. Yeah, probably Floyd, we can get him out of there and, the early round. So I'm pushing to get him out of there in the early round so I can collect another check before.
Well, there you go, folks. Again, it all comes your way Saturday. Showtime Championship Boxing. Don't forget, Showtime Championship Boxing Countdown. We'll be streaming the undercards. 2 fights on that undercard, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8 o'clock Eastern. It's the return of Erickson Lubin against a former world champion, Ishe Smith. You don't want to miss that. And then, of course, the main event. 3 fights on Showtime Championship Boxing, 7 o'clock Pacific. That's 10 o'clock Eastern. We begin with Rover Ray, Fortuna, the co-main, Mario Barrios, Zamora, and then the main event, the champ, Gervonta Davis taking on Hugo Ruiz. All of this promoted by TGB Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, and Samson Boxing. Now, let's pose the fighters. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, do you have a phone that you can sit down, please? There you go. All right, look right here, guy right here. Could you sit down, please, or look to the side? All right, now look out at the TV cameras. Anthony, wave your hand again. All right, you got that? Okay, good. Now we're going to do the whole card. All right, more on there. Everyone look right here. Yeah, raise your hand. Right where his hand is, right here. Right there. There. Hand up. There you go. Hand up. Right there. Yeah, that. Everyone look where his hand is. There you go. Okay, everyone look at the TV camera. Anthony, wave your hand.